Love and light. This is the first part of the book Connecting with the Arcturians by David Miller. And they have a channel, the Group of 40 on YouTube. And I think they have a website too. The Group of 40 is composed of numerous separate groups of 40 individuals who are channeling the Arcturians. My own guidance and intuition has led me to the understanding that they are perhaps the official channel of the Arcturians. There are others. Daniel Scranton channels them also. And both of their messages are really good. They're really concise, really good, and there's a lot of material. He has several books, maybe 6 or 7, or maybe more than that, books. There are 3 of the books connecting with the Arcturians, and then there's a couple called Journeys into the Arcturian Corridor or Through the Arcturian Corridor. I reached out to them, to Giuliano, who's the main channel here. I reached out to them, to read his material, but they've not gotten back to me yet. But it's really, really good, so I'm gonna put this up here, just so you guys can get an introduction to it, and at least, go look at the rest of the books, or maybe check out the Group of 40. They do a lot of group channelings, these biorelativity channelings, where, everyone that is in the channeling session is focused on changing the earth energy and frequency. And so, Giuliano, if you want me to take this video down, just send me a message, let me know, no problem. Love and light to all. Thank you.
We live in a rapidly changing world. The explosion of knowledge and technology is creating a strain on all current personal and institutional belief systems. Many of our old truths are in the process of rapid disintegration. Therefore, we are currently immersed in a major transition of human consciousness. Transitions are always chaotic and unstable. But this particular transition is very profound because it affects all aspects of our perceived reality. We are being bombarded with new perspectives, new ideas, a new age, a new concept of God, new extraterrestrial neighbors, new prophecies, a new spirituality, new definitions, and a new personal and planetary identity. Unfortunately, much of this new information is contradictory, confusing, and very difficult to integrate. We are being simultaneously exposed to so many new concepts that the usual human ability to process and integrate new knowledge is being short-circuited. More questions exist than answers, and the necessary details for intellectual understanding are not always presented. For proper absorption, all new concepts must be released in their correct time. One cannot understand a higher view of reality until certain prerequisites of understanding have been met. We have been working hard to reach this moment in time. We have been preparing ourselves for the unveiling of a greater picture, a higher understanding, a new, expanded perception of what is happening to us. We are ready to understand what our beloved Mother Earth is preparing to do. We are ready to perceive what is in front of us, not only as individuals, but as a race of beings. The Arcturians give us a clear look into the 5th dimension. This new reality is much different than our current 3rd-dimensional existence. In the 5th dimension, all things are manifested through focused thought. Everything is experienced as an energy pattern. Thus, the Arcturians refer to an object or a being as an energy. All things can be healed through the balancing and distribution of different energies. Different energies have different attributes, similar to our atomic structures. The potential for creation is actually much greater when working with higher frequency energies. Thus, the fifth dimension is more dynamic and expressive than the heavier, slower, third dimension. It is not limited by fixed atomic relationships. Only on rare occasion does a book come along that contains the potential to change the consciousness of our entire planetary culture. Many have talked about the ascension process, but very few really understand what it means. Who is really out there? Where are we going? What are our choices? What has to be done to prepare for this event? Is everyone ascending to the same place? What happened to the fourth dimension? How can we understand the fifth dimension? What does it feel like? How does it operate? What are fifth-dimensional beings like? How do they live? This book explains all of these questions in a way that we can easily understand. It explains what our relationships are to known extraterrestrial groups, and what they are doing to help the Earth and her people in this crucial galactic moment in time. It explains how we can raise our vibration now, and begin the process of integrating higher dimensional energies into our third-dimensional world. The Arcturians have also given us a crucial focus for the acceleration of world consciousness. They have presented the concept of group ascension through the creation of groups of 40. They have also presented the concept of the sacred triangle, a method for the integration and unification of spiritual and religious thought on the planet Earth. All those who read this book will feel the presence of fifth-dimensional energy within their being. You will be able to truly experience a view of fifth-dimensional awareness. This will profoundly affect your ability to expand your own perception of reality and help you to actively participate in the personal and planetary ascension that has already begun. Len Cooper. Planetary Heart Publications. Chapter 1. We are the Arcturians. We are the Arcturians, and I am Giuliano, one of the commanders of the contingent that is overseeing the Earth connection. We have a very strong interest in the Earth, for we view ourselves as the midwives of your spiritual birth into the fifth dimension. You would not expect a human baby to be born into the third dimension without assistance to both the mother and the baby. Therefore, we have been designated as powerful helpers for you in your birthing process. We are like a magnet that is attracting your spiritual energy into the higher realms. Please understand how important it is for you to have this magnetic attraction. There are many distortions and diversions on your third dimension. We know that you experience difficulty when you are trying to concentrate. We are experts on focusing energy into the higher spiritual realms. Our working with you is going to foster and accelerate your development in a way that will help you to move into the fifth dimension in a comfortable and smooth fashion. Thus, we view our coming together as part of your ascension process. Many of you have multiple, past life connections with different star systems, such as the Pleiades, and other galactic systems that you are not consciously aware of in your Earth knowledge base. I remind you that you connect to the other star systems through the Arcturian Stargate, through us. We are loving beings, serving the highest wisdom. We do not interfere but only bring you to these planes as your assistants and guides. It is important for you to learn how to interact with the higher dimensions and how to become more proficient at interfacing with other planetary beings who are in alignment with the goals of your development. This is most important when you are experiencing what you call extraterrestrial beings, for you must be very careful that you align with those who understand and support your chosen path of evolutionary development. You may think of us as highly developed spiritual beings from the fifth dimension who are assisting the Earth beings in their transition. We experienced our own third-dimensional shift, our own ascension, a very long time ago. We have evolved to a higher state of consciousness, a state that many of you very much admire and wish to participate in. This state of consciousness has to do with the overcoming of primitive, basic instincts, and the moving to a higher frequency that will allow you to exist in your light bodies. This really is the purpose of your evolutionary path on the Earth. You wish to leave the physical and go into the light. What is meant by, go into the light? It is your ability to be in your light body, free of the physical constraints of the Earth, free of the need for the very contracted aspects of your life, those aspects that have to do with the finiteness of the conception of your existence. Not only have we worked with many starseeds, but we have also seen many planets go through evolutionary shifts. It is of great interest to us to observe the Earth and the planetary shift that she is currently experiencing. Never has there been as much assistance available to a planet as there is now to the Earth. You need to know of the caring and concern that many higher beings have for the Earth, and you need to know that they are watching over you. They are also participating in the Earth evolution and her new birth. The Earth is literally being born again. There is a continuous death and rebirth cycle in the universe. The Earth is going through a birthing process, and you are at the cusp of this evolutionary shift. The Arcturian transmissions. We want to discuss with you the nature of our transmissions. First of all, we are studying you carefully, as well as helping you. We are studying your unfoldment as planetary beings. We are studying your resistance, your densities, and your blocks to the higher levels, including your acceptance of our existence. Part of this resistance focuses on your cultural upbringing, and your insistence in the educational process on logical understanding. On the one hand, this has been a major advancement. On the other hand, it has led you to many solid walls in your spiritual development as galactic beings. We need to remind you of your abilities to transform and activate through light. We can reach you through speech, but part of our major message is also an energy exchange. As we speak, our ships in the fifth dimension are centered over you. Those who are hearing these words and reading these pages, know that you can expand your awareness to the fifth dimension. Know that the light from us and our ships can reach you. Do not be afraid to activate yourselves. You have sought us out because you have sensed a presence from another part of the galaxy within you. Think of the excitement you will feel when you acknowledge that you exist in a galaxy in which you have opportunities to interact with countless other beings and entities. Just open up to that possibility. When you do, then you can receive transmissions from us. Our transmissions are on a higher frequency that is still immeasurable by your instrumentation. When receiving us, there is a slight beeping sound that comes into your auric field. This activates special electromagnetic receptors in your cellular structure, enabling you to receive our thoughts. It helps you to let go in order to receive these messages. Then you can translate them into your language. We have learned your language, and we have studied your thought patterns. We are familiar with your methods of deduction and induction. We have studied your fears, your reactions, and your human aggressiveness that has been such a problem. Your jealousies, your hatreds, we have explored these through many of our contacts and observations. At times, with the permission of your higher selves, we have temporarily resided in your bodies so that we could go through days with you, or weeks, or even months when that was acceptable. We have observed you so that we could learn more about your emotional states. We have appreciated the opportunity to be with you for such periods of time. In return, we have offered you the reverse. We have offered invitations to you to reside with us. You can come with us in spirit to our planet, or visit our ships. The reverse, however, has been more difficult, for many of you have not adequately prepared for a higher frequency existence. We have found that, for the most part, you are in need of deep healing. The experience of being on the Earth has been very traumatic for most of you, and it requires some recovery. We are more than willing to make our technology and thought patterns available to you for your healing. One of our special gifts to you is our thought patterns. We have certain frequencies that can be made available to others. These thought frequencies are not necessarily transmitted in words, although there are sounds that can be voiced. When you are able to exist on our frequency, you can experience an expansion of your cells, an expansion into your light bodies, your light consciousness and your galactic selves. Open your minds to the possibility of being on a new frequency. We will be providing different sounds that will help to activate you to this frequency. If you are reading these words, simply connect with us in your thoughts, and we will be open to working with you. Just tuning in on our frequency will provide an upliftment and an expansion for you. Frequencies are waves that you can ride. Receive our frequency into your fields. Direct your consciousness to your auras now and be open to receiving the frequency of the Arcturians. We are peaceful and spiritual. We seek higher development and higher ethereal contact. We can help you transcend your lower vibrations. It is through our abilities to work with frequencies that we can achieve higher states of healing, spiritual consciousness, and technological development. The Arcturian Earth Mission. The Arcturians have been connected with the Earth and the human race in varying capacities for the past 150,000 years. We have been very involved in the affairs of the planet Earth for the last 20,000 years. Some of us were here much earlier, but this is the active phase of our planetary involvement. We have had major contacts with you in your current historic period. We were involved with the Hebrews on Mount Sinai under the direction of Sananda and others. We have been overseeing some of the evolutionary changes that have occurred. Even more recently, we have been able to work with many of the Native Americans very directly. Now, we are again working closely with many of you as starseeds. Thus, you can see that we have a long-standing kinship with the human race. At this time, we have great contact and involvement with the Earth because so many Arcturian starseeds are here. We work with the permission of, and in service to, your white brotherhood, sisterhood. We acknowledge Sananda to be the ascended master of your planet. The guidance that he offers you is from the highest galactic source. We interface with that knowledge, as well as with his work and his great love. We acknowledge all of your religious experiences, only wishing to bring you into the highest interface with spiritual light. It is true that other space beings are coming to your planet continually for observation. Presently, some are interacting with you. We are interacting only with certain chosen people on a modified level, but we are seeking to create an awareness of our presence. This has been authorized by the highest sources in conjunction with your planetary evolution. We have not been directly involved in human evolutionary changes or genetic restructuring. Those issues were left up to the Pleiadians and the Sirians. Other extraterrestrial groups have also done these things. We, however, function more in the role of teachers or overseers. We are here to help you graduate so that you can ascend into the Stargate and move into the fifth dimensional realm. Our current Earth mission is a very broad-base mission. It is a mission of love, spiritual evolvement, and learning. It is a mission of connection, and, more specifically, a mission of energy infusion. Ascension is a form of expansion. To expand, you need to hold more energy. This is a universal law. We can help you accelerate your mental, emotional, and physical systems through the process of energy infusion. The Earth is experiencing an interdimensional transition. The locks on the third-dimensional realms are being loosened, not only for you, but for the Earth as well. This is allowing a tremendous infusion of energy to occur. If you focus your energy on higher beings, like ourselves, you can work effectively in this new energy. We are very pleased that we can now anchor fifth-dimensional energy even more deeply into your planetary system, and help the Earth in her ascension process. With the onset of this increased energy and the openings into the higher dimensions, you need a focus. That is one of our missions to you, to provide a consistent, etherically pure, and high spiritual energy focus for you. We are providing a gateway for you to meet us, just as we have a gateway to the galaxy. This is our gift to you. We want this to be a group gateway, for we communicate and work as a group consciousness. We want to help you raise your level of consciousness to a point where you can enter the dimensional corridors that are now opening. You can use these dimensional corridors to communicate and interact with us. We can train you to work in interdimensional spaces and project yourselves through the corridors to our ships and then to the Arcturian system. We can help you to project yourselves to the interdimensional temples located on the beautiful mountains of Arcturus. It is also our mission to assist you in your purification. Come to us in your consciousness, and know that we will assist you to purify and to cleanse, so you can raise yourselves and your planet to a higher level. We know how to help you purify your thought patterns. We realized long ago that when you refine your thought patterns, you are well on the way toward your spiritual birth. We are a spiritual race, and we communicate telepathically. We are specialists in bringing you the highest spiritual light and in utilizing healing chambers in order to provide assistance to you. We bring down a golden blue beam of light for you. This light is sprinkling very powerful rays that will enter your crown chakra. We personally greet each of you with this burst of energy. We recommend that you take this energy into your crown chakra and expand your consciousness even beyond your emerging awareness of the Arcturians. The Arcturian system. We have a different name for Arcturus. It is in a language you would not be able to understand, but what it means is the star that gives light, in much the way you look at a mother who is providing life-giving nourishment. It is a well-seasoned star that has been our focus for many eons. As you might expect, our years are not like your years. Our planet travels around the star Arcturus once every 322 Earth years. You can imagine the difference in time orientation. We live in a solar system that has 15 planets, and each planet is in a different stage of development. Some planets exist solely in the third dimension. Others exist simultaneously in the fourth and fifth dimensions. In the Arcturian system, we live predominantly without a gravity field. There is, however, a slight gravitational pull on our etheric presence. We are now overseeing an inhabited planet in our system that is third-dimensional like the Earth, but moving toward the fifth dimension. We are assisting those souls by helping them to reincarnate through the Earth system, and then use that energy to connect to an access point into the fifth dimension. Many Arcturian starseeds currently on Earth come from this planet. The Arcturian culture. We exist in a dimensional reality that is of a clarity that you cannot currently comprehend. The purity and the clarity on our planet would be very refreshing to you. You would immediately sense a personal purification upon initial contact with us. The extra baggage you carry on your third-dimensional world would be immediately eliminated. We have no concerns about physical survival, security, retirement, pension, or even forms of primitive work. These matters are not included in our realm. We devote our time and space to spiritual life. This is not a life without pleasure, do not mistake that. We engage in music and in relationships. We engage in work, but it is not on the primitive level that your culture and society demands. The work is more suited to our individual desires and spiritual paths. This higher concept of work is something that you are now seeking. We are very focused on the color blue. We focus on intermingling with other dimensions. The whole system of our civilization is based on a group of leaders who are deeply involved in thought projection. They help to maintain the structure of our civilization, its codes, its spiritual harmony and unity. The foundation of the system is maintained through thought projection. This is the true work of our leaders. They are specially chosen, and they are trained to maintain the thought projections of our system. This allows others to engage in exploration. Our explorers know that they can return to our base of operation. When we travel interdimensionally, it is important that we take with us workers who will continue to connect with our base of operations through thought projections. Thought projection requires a concentrated effort and an ability to be extremely focused. It is used by the Pleiadians and the Arcturians for the manifestation of objects and tools. We have special training centers that teach thought projection. The first step is to remove attachments, for you cannot do thought projection for personal gain or greed. That is one of the laws of the universe. If the ego is too involved in these projections, then the task becomes impossible. Teaching the principles of thought projection involves instilling the knowledge of how to use this tool wisely. All beings, including humans, possess a particular frequency that allows us all to uniquely express ourselves in a mission. Your mission is a symbol and a significant sign of your starlight. We attune to that concept very early in our children's development, so that we can immediately provide the highest stimulation and direction for each child. We are not competitive, for we are trained to realize that each of us has a unique frequency or purpose. The Arcturians are a very peaceful race. We have not been involved in warfare for a very long time. We do have the ability to manifest in the third dimension. We have the ability to protect ourselves on our ships, but we are not engaged in anything that is even close to any form of conflict. If we encounter a problem, we can immediately dematerialize. Thus, any object that would be projected our way would simply go through us, and not cause us any harm. Many extraterrestrial civilizations have learned how to do this. On Arcturus, we too experience the death of our form, but our passing is experienced in a much different sense. For it is not conceived as the end, but merely as a transitory state of our existence. Our Arcturian lives are only one of the many different multidimensional selves that is part of our complete being. The Arcturian Energy Libraries. As your electromagnetic energy fields vibrate at faster rate, your memories will be activated. Go to the libraries of Arcturus in your thoughts. The libraries will be a very comfortable place for you. These libraries are not like normal libraries on the Earth plane, where you go and read books. They are libraries of energy sources. So you must imagine that when you come into a library, you are remembering energy patterns and electromagnetic vibrations. All of your historic religious masters have had exposure to, or elongated contact with extraterrestrial energies. Some did not even know that they were in contact with extraterrestrial sources. These contacts were experienced as gods or as angels speaking. All of your masters have reached the point of electromagnetic awareness that allowed them to experience a nonverbal, mystical energy. This is what you are moving to when you come into the Arcturian libraries. The Ekankar is also very connected with Arcturian energy. The light vibration from the Ekankar is Arcturian in source. The light streams in the electromagnetic vibratory arrangements are very similar in frequency to the energy you will find in the Arcturian libraries. The Ek Masters have freely come and worked in the Arcturian libraries. Many of them are accessing Arcturian energy from the libraries. You are very verbal and very literal in your thinking processes, but you can also know and remember through an energy exchange. This has been the basis of the Ekankar process in its pure form, i.e., an energy exchange. This comes directly from the Arcturian spiritual schools where you are trained and taught through energy magnetism. Bring yourself to the point of allowing that process to occur within you.